What is good? What is good? Mikey T is never sober. I was just literally watching the $1 million worth of game episode.
I was just literally watching the
Burr. Yeah.
$1 million.
Let me get my sounds correct. Let me get my sound situated, you guys. Make sure everything's situated before we
Just
get.
literally watching.
Okay, we are good. We are good. Now everything is situated. Everything is good with the sound, y'all. Before we get. Okay, we are good. We are good. Now, perfect. Everything is situated, man. We got some shit to talk about tonight. We got some breaking news in regard to the Gillie the Kid and Wiz Khalifa situation that we're gonna go over tonight, man. Some crazy shit going on with Tory Lanez as well. Tory Lanez actually digging back into the Meek Mill situation from a few weeks ago. From no, not from a few weeks ago, actually, you guys. It was from August actually of 2021. It was actually quite a while ago. Probably 6 months ago at this point. What up, Truth Hurts TV? Appreciate you for tapping in, man. We have some breaking developments. We have some breaking developments in the Wiz Khalifa, Gillie the King saga. You know what I mean? Like this is really taking some different turns that I didn't think it would actually take. You know what I'm saying? I really didn't think that Gillie and Wiz would be going at each other in this manner. I'm talking about Wiz making a post about Gillie calling him a child. I'm talking about the fact that Gillie has all over his new Instagram page actually going at Wiz. I'm talking about the fact that Gillie even went as far to say, never mind his old IG page. He doesn't care about that IG anymore, you guys. In the last few days, you know what I mean? In the last few days, Gillie's new Instagram page has reached nearly 300,000 followers. 300,000 new real followers. You know what I mean? That's not to say anything about Gillie's followers from the past. You know what I mean? But Gillie right now can tell that these followers are actually right there. You know what I mean? He can tell that they're possible purchasers. You know what I mean? Possible, you know what I mean? Recipients of some of his programming, real views, real shit. You can really tell the pull that Gillie the Kid has by actually getting his IG page back up and popping like that. Now, apparently, there's been conversations between the two. Gillie even said that Wiz went as far to throw an ultimatum his way. We're going to talk about it all tonight, man. We're talking about it all tonight. We got some shit. We got some shit to talk about tonight, man, because Gillie pretty much went off, man. Gillie pretty much went off in this whole situation. And I'm interested to get everybody's take on it. I'm also interested to give some of my own opinions about it as we break it down step by step. Because Gillie didn't pull no punches with Wiz on this one, man. This is like a full blown roast. You know what I'm saying? This is literally a full blown roast what we are seeing going on here. Everybody in here that's not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel right now. I want y'all to subscribe to the channel. If you haven't, make sure you turn the notification bell on. Um, Gillie exposed Wiz. Well, Gillie said that somebody actually hit him up from Wiz's camp, and he made a statement about the liquor bottles that Wiz actually has. Wiz is a big drinker. I mean, they're always on that Bombay. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, watching the day-to-days Wiz's series on YouTube, you wouldn't really think that Wiz would be the type of dude who would care if somebody was opening one of his bottles. You know what I mean? You really wouldn't think that Wiz is the type of dude who would have the type of ego to where he would, care about everything that was his. Some people are just like that. Simple. It's simple in facts. Some people, when they get the idea that something belongs to them, nobody else is going to be able to hold this. Nobody else is going to be able to possess it. It belongs to them. Gillie had some very interesting things to say. And I don't think it was gonna stop even if Wiz didn't put out this post. Wiz put up a post earlier today where he actually said he referred to Gillie as a child, which really wasn't that cool. You know what I mean? Like Gillie kind of took some big offense to that, actually what was said by Wiz. So I'm about to get into that right now, because that kind of threw me off, Wiz actually calling him a child. You know what I mean? Like you were just on $1 million worth of game podcast with Gillie the Kid. You know what I mean? You guys were literally just doing the show together. I was literally just watching it before we went live. They were vibing out, dancing with each other. Everybody wants to bring up all the shit about Bobby Shmurda dancing. You know what I mean? Wiz and Gilly, they pretty much do that with all of their guests on the show. They pretty much do that with all their guests on the show, to be honest with y'all. So let's get into it here a little bit, because I wanted to bring up the tweet that Meek, we got Meek in our second topic of the day, actually. But I wanted to bring up the tweet that Wiz actually said. Wiz actually had posted, I didn't get that child's Instagram deleted. I even offered to help him get his page back, and he declined. See ya. So he basically said, see ya on that note. That's kind of Wiz's slogan right now, you guys. But Gillie doesn't deny that. Gillie doesn't deny the fact that Wiz actually tried to help him get his page back on. But like I said earlier, Gil doesn't really want the page no more. Gil doesn't really want that page anymore, although it had 2 million followers on it. Gil has a whole new page, 300,000 followers, just about. Probably be nearly 500,000 followers by the end of the day or by the end of the week. So I don't think he's really all that concerned. He's getting all of his algorithms back together. He's getting all of his momentum back together. So I think Gillie is going to be good regardless. Now, in all honesty, you guys, with the fact that Wiz's people reached out to Gillie, that's an interesting factor to me. Gillie actually brought up, and we're going to get into this in full, you guys, but Gillie actually brought up the fact that Wiz's people, he had mentioned Will, who I remember seeing from back in the day to day. I didn't really know that was his manager or whatever. I really just thought it was his right-hand man, but pretty much the same thing, you guys. So they had reached out to Gillie, and they're like, yo, this shit is hot. This shit is going through the roof. This shit is going, mega. It's going viral, as everybody says nowadays. Gillie just laughing at Wiz. Like I said yesterday, Gillie doing anything on the internet is pretty much going to go viral, whether it's some serious advice, whether it's some comedic advice, you know what I mean? Whether somebody is learning from it or laughing with him. You know what I'm saying? So Gillie made Wiz go viral, and this kind of excited Wiz's team. Now, let's be real, you guys. Wiz has been doing the kickboxing thing, the taekwondo thing. You know what I mean? He's been doing what he's been doing on the internet for quite some time. It's not really that out of the ordinary to me. I logged on one day and I saw Wiz was starting to get involved in some fitness. And I was like, you know what? Whether it's the pandemic and he's finding something to keep his time busy, or if this is something that he's actually been interested in and just never took the steps to go forward with it. I looked at both of those situations as a fan, as a follower, as a colleague. You know what I'm saying? When I look at all these other artists and shit, we form our own opinions and we move forward. Sometimes we get the opportunity to meet these guys that your opinion either changes or, whatever happens, happens. But Louis Peasy, I definitely appreciate you for tapping in, man. Schizo says Gillie can get that back on a different page. It's just Wiz was on that kid shit. Yeah, exactly. He can get his followers back, and that's pretty evident. The growth of Gillie's page is like never before, you guys. Gillie's popularity right now is at an all-time high. Gillie the Kid is really at a whole new level in his career. So just seeing that, I got to imagine, just Gillie seeing that his page build up so rapidly, I gotta believe that he probably does want to rock with that page. You know what I mean? They'll probably figure out a new name. I don't know why they don't just call it Gillie the King, or you know what I'm saying? Gillie the King underscore GDK and get rid of the new page. But I'm sure they'll do that in new time. Right now, they're marketing as a new page because he just got his page taken down. You know, pretty ridiculous that Gillie got his page taken down as well. But like I was saying, in regard to Wiz doing kickboxing and stuff like that, whether it was something he got involved in, you know, because he had a bunch of free time or something he was passionate about, you could tell. You know what I mean? You could tell that it was really a genuine interest of his. It was really something that he would be okay with taking up hours of his time with, you know, and using it as a focus in his life. So let's be realistic to that factor. When Will and the other management hit up Gillie and say, hey, man, that shit was funny. That shit was great. You had a viral moment going on. But you know what? You know what, man? We want you to come and do a skit with Wiz. We want you to actually come and do a skit with Wiz, you guys. So Gillie was with it. Gillie was like, yo, I'm going to come to the gym. I'll pull up right after Wiz. Y'all can let me know. We can work it out so everything coincides. I'll have a pair of shorts. I'll come in. I'll be like, yo, put these shorts on, man. Enough is enough. I need you to put these shorts on, Wiz. So that's what I'm really thinking in regard to the situation. Like, it would have been a pretty funny skit if they had got it together. And you know, the fact that Gillie is willing to work with Wiz at this point in his career, when Gillie is all over the world, when Gillie is at his height, right now, Gillie has the pick of the litter. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not talking about his beautiful dog Millions. Gillie right now has the pick of the litter when it comes to the who's who of the music industry. He's had Kodak Black. You know, Gillie has sat with Little Dirk. You know what I'm saying? He sat with so many different people, man. He sat with so many different people, so many relevant artists. You know what I'm saying? So many relevant artists. So right now, Gillie doesn't necessarily need to link up with somebody who is a few years past their prime. You know, that's not the point of $1 million worth of game. You know what I'm saying? That's really not the point of $1 million worth of game, as Gillie has stressed. I need everybody to share this video, man. I need y'all to share this video. I'm the most in tune blogger out there. Why are you the most in tune blogger, Mikey T? You might be asking. Because I've been around these guys. You know what I mean? Because I've rubbed shoulders with these guys. Because I've smoked blunts and sat in studios and heard the thoughts that these guys have when it comes to different perspective, you know, different shit in the game, man. But let me bring in my co-host. Let me bring in the hood blogger. Let me bring in that guy that's destroying the streets of Philly when it comes to this news. Salute, SV Twiz. Welcome to the chat tonight, man.
Mikey T, my brother, what's good, bro? Much respect. What's good?
Man, oh man. We got a couple different things to talk about. I'm sure you remember
Absolutely.
about 6 months, maybe about 9 months ago now, Meek Mill pretty much exposed to the world that he wasn't really messing with Tory Lanez. He says, you know, I don't mess with you right now.
Facts.
You know,
Big
Meek Mill
facts.
put it out on Front Street that he wasn't messing with Tory Lanez. But Twiz, you know, it's not really a popular thing to mess with Tory Lanez right now, right?
Yeah, definitely. Not this time. I mean, things turning over for him now, but the past months and all of that, it's been looking crazy, bro.
Right. Right. You know, so honestly, I just kind of feel like, all right, so Tory Lanez, he's in a bit of a situation. Now it's like, okay, we don't need to be pressed over kissing his ass.
Facts.
You know, we don't really got to be pressed. Twiz, you're looking a little shaky on your end when it comes. Everything good?
Let me see something real quick. Let me log out and log back in real quick.
All right, cool. Just want to make sure your quality is good for the people watching. Yeah, that's right. We got SV Twiz in the building, you guys. And we got some shit to talk about. $1 million worth of game. That's right. We're going to be talking about $1 million worth of game. Host Gillie the Kid, Gillie the King. You know what I'm saying? We're speaking on the big homie Gillie the King. So y'all share this video, man. Gillie actually went in on Wiz, man. Gillie went in on Wiz like crazy, man. Have you been seeing all the posts, Twiz, about Gillie going in on Wiz, man?
Absolutely.
Apparently, they had reached out to Gillie in regard to a skit. And, before you just tapped in, I was speaking about, having knowledge of Wiz, putting a spotlight on his kickboxing, on his training. You know what I mean? Hasn't really caught mainstream popularity. So now we got Gillie the Kid, the biggest personality, one of the biggest personalities in media, right alongside the Charlemagne's and shit like that. He puts a spotlight on what Wiz has been doing for the past 3 years, and they want to do a skit. You know what I mean? But Wiz can't hack it, Twiz. It's kind of like it's hypocritical because Gillie was about to put the spotlight on his kickboxing.
Back to what I said yesterday, bro. It's like Wiz was in a position to go back and forth. Salute. Boom, appreciate you, bro. Wiz was automatically in a position to go back and forth, bro. This is it's all recreation, man. You know what I'm saying? He could have said plenty of things. And for just taking an emotional route, it just tore everything down, bro. You know what I mean?
So let's get into this, man. I need everybody to share the video as well. So Gillie posted this video and he said, "Your management is calling me, apologizing for you." He don't even know his management called me and they said, "Oh my God. Oh my God. Look at that post." No, but they said, "Oh my God, Twiz." That post you made about Wiz, that's everywhere, bro. Yo, Gillie, would you mind pulling up to the gym and doing a skit? Now, Twiz, what do you make of Wiz's management? Will, that's somebody that we've seen on the internet from the day-to-day videos and shit. But what do you make about them actually reaching out to Gillie to do a skit about the situation?
To me, it feel like that although they know how Wiz is, they probably felt as though Wiz wasn't, offended like that at that time. You know what I mean? And on top of that, it was like it would be great for an extra stream of revenue. It's like a commercial. It's like a commercial. It's no different than how Tyson, made a business move from off of Holyfield Air. You know what I mean? Look at him now. You know what I'm saying? It's like
podcast,
facts,
hotel,
facts. You know what I mean? He could have even did like a brand behind it. You know what I'm saying? No shorts. Hashtag no shorts.
No, like I said yesterday, he could have started selling those cool ass UFC shorts that I would like to get my hands on. You know what I mean? And start training in. But I can't really find the cool joints. You know what I'm saying? But so right here, they actually reach out to Wiz Wiz's people reach out to Gillie for a skit. You know what I mean? Something to take this shit to the next level. You know what I mean? We already got everybody in there, mom and pops and all the major blogs reporting about Gillie and Wiz. Why not take this shit to the next level, Twiz? Actually do a blog around it. Wiz is known as the stoner. Gillie the Kid just put him in another light. You know what I mean? He just made everybody see Wiz for kind of what he wants to get respected for. Boom says Wiz effed up the bag.
He did. That's a fact, boom.
I mean, shit, Twiz, they were just on $1 million worth of game dancing together like this. Good move. I ain't gonna lie. I like this one too. But like they were just dancing together. Why not do a couple skits, Twiz?
Definitely, man. Definitely. And once again, it come back to, getting in his feelings, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's light at the end of the tunnel, bro. He didn't say nothing hurtful or discrediting you or anything, man. You know what I mean? Like, when you a public figure like that, you do the smallest thing on social media, you might get roasted for it. Like they got the joint right now. I don't know if you've seen where where Big Fendi was like he was stepping out of the helicopter,
Yep.
but then they, everybody was like, "Come on, bro, we know you didn't." You
The
know what
door
I'm
was
saying?
closed.
Exactly. Like they could have, they didn't edit that and chop that up right, but that's just what comes with the game. You can't let it drag you down, especially when it's a joking matter. Like Gil said, somebody had posted him next to like a fiend, and he put it on his page, and
He always
you know,
does. He always
exactly,
does, Twiz.
exactly. You know what I'm saying, like, people always do that, bro. Like, and Gil will really let somebody go back and forth with him in a roasting session, whether it's on his live or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just
So Gillie was actually into the idea of it. Gillie said, "Yeah, I'll be in LA next week." And he even laid out a whole idea of what they could do. He said, "Don't tell him. Don't tell him. I'm going to come up and I'm going to pull up to the gym right after him and I'm going to have some shorts in my hand." And I said, "I'm going to walk in the gym and I say, I'm going to work out with you and I put on these shorts." And they said, "Gillie, that is going to be so funny." So, yo, Twiz, hearing that, what's your reaction to the skit idea?
my reaction is it would have been great, but they probably would have let Wiz know. They probably should have had let him. He would have either ran out the ring crying, put the cameras down, or he might have tried to throw a UFC kick at Gillie. Who knows? Who knows where his emotions would have took him? Like,
It would have been great. They could have edited in Wiz Khalifa doing one of the Luke, doing like a Liu Kang fireball or something, Mortal Kombat. They could have done anything with it, Twiz.
yeah, they could have, but if it's only a one-sided thing, it.
Well, yo, man, I know Gillie for a fact probably would have one time Gillie let Steven Seagal kick his ass in a movie. I'm sure he would have let Wiz hit him with the karate kick.
Yeah, Gil probably, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I guess it would have been different. It might have been more serious. If I'm saying if Wiz wouldn't have had known, like, say they got the cameras rolling and Gil came in like that,
Oh
who knows?
yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's off guard, But if Wiz took it as a joke, then it wouldn't have been that. You know what I'm saying?
I'm thinking more like if they did that and then they continued to film segments behind it,
Facts.
which I don't understand. They have an opportunity here. You know what I mean? You got to take the ball and you got to run with it. So, sorry, Twiz.
No, I was just saying, like, for him to, if he, like, with him wearing whatever they are, boxes, shorts, UFC joints, if he stood behind that, that was putting him in the position to brand it. You know what I mean? To get endorsed by it, to have a commercial with somebody. They might have regular workout shorts, and then he come up with his joints on, and he doing like, you know what I'm saying? Like he working like Superman in the gym or something.
That
You
would
know
have
what I
been
mean?
hilarious.
Yeah, like it could have been millions of ways he could have did it, and made sense of it. But I ain't mean to cut you off, bro.
And now that's all ruined because of nothing. It's like you guys just did $1 million worth of game together. The
Facts.
relationship should be there to take this shit to the next level. You know what I
Facts.
mean? Like Gillie and Wallow are on their way to getting such major deals. Like I could see them on Comedy Central. I just don't understand why Wiz didn't see what it was. So Gillie went
Facts.
on and said, they said we got to tell Wiz because Wiz is different. Gillie, I don't really get what they mean by they're saying that Wiz is different. You know what I mean? Like he's different. How like Gillie would go on to
Yes.
say that he wouldn't want other people to take drinks of his alcohol. That
Yeah.
that doesn't make so much sense to me, Twiz. He's got enough money not to care about that. I mean, this
Yeah.
guy is out in his IG videos on floaties all day.
Yeah, but just because these guys get money when them cameras is not rolling, a lot of the times these guys, you know what I mean? Like Wiz never really showed people who he was outside of the cameras rolling, outside of the movies or the music videos. And even when these guys do like reality shows and stuff, you still not really getting a straight life. The people that's around them know what's up. You know what I mean? And you know how he reacted. And what Gil is saying, it just, it kind of makes sense, man. You know what I mean? Even with him, like how he spoke on the people that's around him, that was around him, and things of that nature, and management speaking how they speak. You know what I mean? He's just that kind of guy, obviously.
So Wiz actually made a post today, or earlier today, and I want to read that right now. Wiz actually posted, I didn't get that Instagram. I didn't get that child's Instagram deleted. I even offered to help him get his page back, and he declined. See ya. Again with that see ya. Gillie would even bring up see ya. I'm predicting it right now. The new album is called See Ya.
Yeah, he's trying to brand it, but at the end of the day, he's still not looking good as a person, period, man. Like, especially with, like calling him a child and throwing that shot after you responded in such a childish manner. You responded like a young kid whose feelings was hurt, not a man, let alone not a man that's rich. You know what I'm talking about? Like, you know what I mean? Something that small tore you apart, bro. Him, it's too late to be responding like that, bro. Like, it's too late to be trying to, like, you discrediting him or trying to belittle Gil.
Now, Twiz, just looking at it from Wiz's perspective, I want to ask you, how do you think Wiz felt maybe about his management and his friends reaching out to Gillie without his knowledge? Because as Gillie said, they said they would have to talk to him about it. Wiz is a multi-million-dollar guy. You shouldn't really be reaching out to somebody without the number one, without the guy who's leading the food chain's knowledge of it, Twiz.
Well, that's why they thought at that time when they reached out to him, they felt as though Gil and Wiz was on good terms,
Same page.
which they was. You know what I mean? And they also said they would have to let Wiz know. So it was a business move. It ain't like they proceeded to do it without him letting it. But him being who he is, he probably upset, period, that they just reached out to him. He probably still upset.
I mean, it's like, come on, man. You shouldn't be reaching out to somebody unless you've talked to that guy and cleared the business move.
But but sometimes if you a striving manager, then it's like we can have this set up, that set up. You know what I mean? They got to be on their job. It ain't like they should be just sitting around like, hey, you think we should do this?
Right.
Sometimes their job is to have things lined up. And it's up, exactly. It's up to the artist to say yeah or no if they want to do that.
They got to move on things, man. They can't let shit slow up. Like I just said, like Wiz and Gillie and Wallow could have ended up on, I don't know, for some reason I feel like I saw Gillie and Wallow promoting Adult Swim, even though from what I've seen, Adult Swim is mostly, it's all animated. You know what I mean? It's all animated shows like, you know what I mean? The American Dads and the Bob's Burgers, and you know what I'm saying? So I don't really know where Gillie and Wallow would fit in there, but I don't know if they're going to do something animated, Twiz, but honestly, I think they could find some success doing live shit with people like Wiz if this would have worked out. Like I just said, they could have did a whole series.
Facts. And even with
East Cleveland says Game did the same thing Wiz did. Why didn't Gillie speak? Oh, he's talking about. Sorry, bro. I'm not looking at working out videos of the game, to be 100% honest with you. I'm not.
Yeah.
So I really, we're not going to touch on that one, man.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll let my co-host Wiz touch on that.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like,
not touching on the games.
Yeah, I didn't. I definitely ain't see the game or nothing, but it comes to what we was talking about before, relationships that you feel you got with people. When Gil said it, he wasn't saying it in a disrespectful manner.
He was joking.
It's like, exactly. It's like
it's like a roast on Comedy Central almost.
Exactly.
And look at this quiz. Kingley, JQ. I'm confused. He just had him on his podcast. Yeah, this is confusing a lot of people. You know what I mean?
The confusing part is how Wiz responded. Gil ain't have no harm intent. You know what I'm saying? That's what it boiled down to. Like, you know what I mean? It's a one-sided thing. Like, Wiz made it to what it is.
So Gillie went on, man. He said he takes everything personal. He takes everything personal. He's emotional. He doesn't even know his management did this because they get it. They ain't like nobody talking about, they like ain't nobody talking about Wiz. Gillie put up a post and now everybody is talking about it. Let's capitalize off this. And they understand Gillie was playing. I think a lot of people, besides like some of the fans who are like, you're going to have those extreme cult fans of Wiz who are just, you know what I mean? Like you got Nicki, you got Beyonce, all these fans who will just like go at anybody for their favorite artist. But, Gillie said it right here. They know they like ain't nobody talking about Wiz. Gillie put up a post and now everybody is talking about it, man. What's your take on that, Twiz?
I mean, it's true. It don't matter how great of an artist you are, your time eventually fade out. It's some great legendary MCs that we can go back 90s, 80s, and before. You know what I mean? You don't hear people talking about Big Daddy Kane or nobody. I'm talking about like these people like you're going to fade off. The eras change. So to maintain any kind of relevancy, especially on top of what you doing, somebody like Wiz, him doing the workout, on top of the attention that he felt as though he was getting, it added another kick to it, and it could also open up other doors.
Twiz, I gotta say something, man. I got to speak for that kid in middle school. I gotta speak for that kid in high school, who just wanted to read in front of everybody. And this is a message to Wiz if you're seeing this video. You know what I mean? I want to speak out as that kid who read in front of the class and everybody was like, yo, look at him. Look at him with the horse teeth. Some shit like that. I'm reaching out to you, Wiz, with this message. So if Wiz really wants to keep it real and help somebody that was maybe bullied in school, Wiz, you can come right to this YouTube channel, man. You can come right to this YouTube channel if he really wants to do something out there. You know what I mean? Because Wiz went and got his weight up. The skinny stoner stigma. You know what I mean? There's another one that we all deal with. So if Wiz really wants to, do something, but maybe I took a little bit too long with that. Back to you, Twiz.
Yeah, no, I pretty much said what I was saying right there. I forgot what I was touching up on, but
interlude. Sorry about that.
It's all good. It's all good.
Driver says Wiz went straight Hollywood. Wiz just got extremely popular. You know what I mean, Driver? At a certain point in time when Wiz and Currency were coming up together, Currency had backed away from his record deal. He had a situations lined up with Lil Wayne. He had a situation he was looking at with Rick Ross, but Currency stepped away from them and went independent. Whereas Wiz Khalifa actually went mainstream. Wiz Khalifa didn't even sign with Ricky Rose. He signed with a major label. Somebody let me know what it was. Was it excuse me, not Epic, Atlantic Records? Let me know in the chat. Major salute to my guy Iceberg. We got Buffalo in the building tonight.
Skit. So James Brown, salute. Iceberg, salute. Shout out to everybody in the chat.
Poll questions? What are the poll questions for tonight? Justin says we got to stop tearing each other down. If that man want to work out in little shorts, let it be. So be it. That's his mentality. I'm not about to be worried about no shit like that. It's his business. Yeah, Justin, same thing I felt, scrolling through the timeline. You don't really, I'm not there to make fun. I'm not there to make fun of somebody. That's wearing. But hold on, Twiz. Let me make my point, brother. I'm not there to make fun of anybody. You know what I mean? I'm not there to really, who even really cares what I'm going to say. But when Gillie's doing it, I'm sure Gillie's seen it 10, 20, 100 times. When Gillie's like, all right, this is a good time to make a joke right here that might resonate with some people out there, because everyone doesn't have the voice that Gillie has to make this joke actually work. But yeah, Twiz, what's up?
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, that's not tearing nobody down. That's just joking around with somebody that you feel as though you got love with. If you consider that tearing somebody down, then we gotta say Gil and Wallow tear each other down every day. You know what I mean? Everybody that Gil know or he talked to, he tear them down. It's just it was entertainment. You know what I mean? Tearing somebody down is if Wiz drop an album and he say this joint was trash. Like I couldn't, that like that's tearing somebody down. You know what I mean? Real rap, MBH. Like it's a difference between tearing somebody down and somebody supposed to be your brother, and you do like a joke like that. You know what I mean? We gotta stop being so sensitive as men, more so than trying to label that as a tear down.
I'm putting the post up, and this poll, excuse me, is actually going to be based on SV Twizz's statement from last night's blog. It's going to be celebrity boxing. Who do you got? And you know who the two contestants are. We got Gillie the Kid, and we got Wiz Khalifa, y'all. So I'm posting it up right now. That's based on what you said the other day. And Wiz, when we went over that little statement that that Wiz made, where he said, I didn't get that child's Instagram deleted. I even offered to help him get his page back, and he declined. See ya. Gillie said if we were in a room together, he didn't say a ring. He did not say a ring. But we're talking about a celebrity boxing ring. I'm sure a couple people have said some shit about it. Twiz said it last night on the podcast. But Twiz, I asked this question because you brought it up, man. So I want to know, what does everyone think? Celebrity boxing, Gillie versus Wiz. Who do y'all got? Vote in the chat right now. Gillie said if we got in a room together, I mistook it. I thought he said a ring, but he said a room. You would not call me a child. So why call him a child in that post, man? I think it's kind of like, the same way that Wiz feels like Gillie is bullying him. To call somebody a child is almost a bullying-like tactic as well.
Yeah, it's just that he's just trying to be disrespectful now. You know what I mean? He's just taking a disrespectful route because he looking bad, man. You know what I mean?
Is this accurate? Driver Allen says it's Will Smith's fault. People make a joke. No, man. I was reading Gillie's response to, what Will Smith did. He said the Gil Smith popped out of him. Everybody share this video. We're about at 100 people. Keep sharing this joint. Let them know the best live podcast is on right now.
Definitely.
But, Gillie said the Gil Smith popped out of him a little bit, man. But Gillie joked about that. It wasn't like, I don't think it really plays parallel to one another. I don't think it's similar. Is it similar, Twiz?
No, it don't.
These guys are all from Pennsylvania. You would know best.
Yeah, it don't, like, it would be similar if Wiz was dealing with like a health issue. Like say Wiz started limping while he was walking, but he had an illness that led him to limping like that. And Gil was like, "Hey, you walking like so and so." So that's when it's on that level. You know what I mean? Like we're talking about some shorts that he chose to train in, which when you're not training, you dress luxury from head to toe. When this training is over, that's like, you know what I mean? And these are shorts that you chose to put on and things of that nature. Like, with like the stuff with Jada, that's something serious that she can't just get rid of. You know what I mean? Like a illness is never good, especially when you're getting older in age.
But what about the sensitivity factor of it all, man? Like Wiz was being a little sensitive to the point where everyone's suggesting he got Gillie's page deactivated. And you know how a lot of people feel about that type of shit, man. Gillie's not really there with it, but a lot of people have their page, and that probably takes care of their bills, and that probably takes care of their different payments and shit. It's one of their main incomes. So to take somebody's page down is really a direct impact, a direct blow to them to a certain extent. But like he said here,
Uh-huh.
he's denying it. He's denying it, and he also said he could help get him back, Twiz. So I mean, does that make you feel any different way? He went
Nah,
on the internet and denied it, Twiz. So you're just gonna say you don't believe it?
no, I don't believe it.
Really? You're just
Yeah, I
gonna
don't,
say you don't believe Wiz when he clearly what's he gonna he's just lying in his tweets now, Twiz?
probably most likely because he would look bad if he got it taken down. You know, like, if he admitted to getting it, not saying he physically himself did it, but it don't mean that somebody was around him. Like, you know what we can do because they're trying to keep him happy. They're trying to continue to have their jobs. You know what I mean? And they was like, you know what? They could have been like, you know what? We wrote them. We reported the page. Blah blah blah. His page would be down, and he'd be like the guy for Players Club. Do something to make me feel better. You know what I mean?
I just disagree with that, bro. I don't think Wiz is that petty. I don't
Well,
think
his actions was petty. His reaction to everything, how everything happened, was petty. When you react like that,
Driver, I did not see that video of Gillie on a boat with his wife in some draws. Oh, that would be great. That would be great, though. That would be great if Gillie was making a video like that, kind of mocking the whole situation. And he's like, this is when you wear draws, man. This is when I wear draws, man. What did he say? He's like, you're giving up too much strapping ball, player.
Facts.
I don't even know what the hell that means, man. Whatever, man. Don't be giving up strapping ball on the gram, though. Especially if you're getting followed by Gillie. And damn you, Wiz, because Gillie and me were following each other. All right, so anyways, let's get back into it. So Gillie said, so let's be on. No, I said, so I want to be honest as well, Twiz. Let's be honest. Wiz is very well known in the game, but he isn't the most active right now, like in the actual game. Now, I'm not talking about shows. Maybe he does 100 shows a year or whatever. I'm talking about having relevant music in the game. Gillie has had some of the most relevant guests in recent months. He's had Kodak Black. He's had Lil Durk, #1 album in the country. And, also, Twiz, I want to bring up the fact that when Wiz was at his most popular, I don't know if anybody's brought this up. You can let me know. You can let me know in the chat as well. If you're watching this on demand, you can let me know if anybody else has brought this up. When Wiz was his most popular, you know what I'm saying? Where was he for Gillie? You know what I mean? You wasn't with Gil shooting in the gym. You know what I mean?
True.
Now that Gil has the major podcast and he does 25,000, 75,000 live viewers, of course you want to be around Gil. Everybody share this video. 10 years ago, nobody was saying, oh, yo, we going to do UFC promo vlogs with Gillie, and it's going to do 8 million views in the first 3 days. They weren't saying that 10 years ago, Twiz. They weren't saying much of nothing. They were saying, DJ Drama was saying, Gil, I don't know if I can host your mixtape. Now what's he saying, Twiz? Gil, what time do you need me to be there for your podcast? I don't want to be late. I'm being real right now, Twiz. You know what I mean?
That's a fact, Mikey. That's a fact, bro. You hitting it on the nose, man. You hitting it on the nose.
And I hope my dog Gillie sees this shit. You know what I'm saying? Just like I hope Wiz sees this shit, because I'm not trying to be too hard on either man in this situation, but I'm just real. When Wiz Khalifa had the world in his hands and he had everybody loving his shit, he was not there for Gillie like that. So you know what I'm saying? But now he has all the time for Gillie to pull up to the warehouse, to pull up to the gym. He's got all the time in the world for that now. But right now, Gillie is on Coi Leray's album, which is more than likely going to #1. But yeah, no. You got anything you want to add to that, Twiz? I kind of just wanted to go off about that.
Yeah, man. I mean, you hit it on the nose, bro. Like, Gil and Wallow, like, $1 million worth of game. They have a lot to offer for artists, bro. That's why you're going to see. I mean, come on, man. They had Tyson on the show, bro. You got Deion Sanders. Like, you got
This
true
guy, Wiz Khalifa, releases We Dem Boys in 2014. In 2014, Gillie and I were shooting videos that were doing hundreds of thousands of
facts.
views on the internet. All Gillie needed was All Gillie needed was one of these artists to come on the show or come and show him love. To come and show Gillie love, to give him that next boost. When Gillie was putting together all these movies with Ving Rhames and putting his freaking feet in the mud to give people product out there. But no, now they want to jump on his calls and be like, "Yo, Gillie, man, we can make this work, but I'm going to give you an ultimatum. Don't give Gillie an ultimatum. Your ultimatum is 10 years too late to Gillie the Kid. He's not listening to that shit. 12 years ago, Gillie the Kid would have listened to any freaking, part of the video you wanted to edit. You know what I mean? But it's a different day and age, man. Gillie's living his truth.
Facts.
Oh, damn. Boone says, who did Wiz put on in Taylor Gang? Nobody is popping in Taylor Gang, he says. Yo, man, don't do that, man. Don't do that, man. Chevy Woods is my boy, man. Chevy Woods is my boy. Let's not go there, man. We're not trying to disrespect people like that. Gillie had actually got a call. I could see why Gillie's amped up to the point where he said some shit about Taylor Gang. You had heard the comment about Taylor Gang, Twiz? We're about to get into it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I heard it. I heard that.
Wiz gonna come out and say something about the major figures?
I mean, he really can't. What could he say? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, if he does, he's just going to open up the floodgates for Spado to talk about it in his new podcast.
Yeah,
Dutch can talk about it. Apple will probably come with a crazy diss record.
Yeah, he really can't, because it was a different day and time, and you got Gil that really motivated these guys, Gil and Wallow, that motivated them to take them out the streets, and they had labels chasing them down. They wasn't coming up to labels and presenting mixtapes or, take my tape. You know what I mean? They made themselves famous. You know what I mean?
Oh, Major Figures, was it more so known as a group, or it wasn't known as a record label? Taylor Gang is more of a record label, Twiz, where he was signing different acts. Like, I believe at one point I had met a guy named True Car. I'd gone to a couple of the Smokers Club events. Rest in peace to my brother, cousin Todd, man.
Yeah, because Mike, you didn't like Taylor Gang come after Wiz already made his appearance to the world. He didn't come straight in with Taylor Gang, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe it was like Wiz, and then you just start hearing him talk a lot about Taylor Gang.
Yep, he started putting on his label almost a little bit late, but almost similar to 50 Cent in a way, because he started representing that label. And then they're like, Taylor, you know what I mean? They was on it. And that's why Gillie probably remembered to diss the Taylor Gang as well. But also, he had gotten a call from somebody. We'll get into it in a second. Let me see. So Wiz's team said, let's capitalize. But Wiz said, it's like when you get bullied in school because you can read good. Man, what is you talking about? Sit down somewhere. Where did you come up with this analogy, you nut? This is like a bully in school? Like when you read and they read good and they smart? You know what I feel about negative energy? See ya. Bro, I told you to put some shorts on. So Gillie even used his whole see ya thing. So like Wiz is getting that over of Cross pretty well. When he first said the whole I don't mess with negativity, see ya, directed right at Gil in your mind, Twiz?
Yeah, directed right at Gil. It was like, what I got out of it is like, I don't need your energy. You out of here. You out of my life. That's what I get from that see ya. Like, I don't need you.
I don't need you. I'll unfollow you too. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Yeah, Burner definitely Taylor Gang. Not sure if he's still Taylor Gang, but Burner's more popular than ever right now, man. Burner is more popular than ever. Is there a cookie store in Philly, or you don't know, Twiz?
I'm not sure. Like, yeah, I know we got what you
Yep.
mean, like what, like a what kind of cookie store?
Nah, you know the Burner's cookie brand.
Oh, okay, yeah, they might have a joint down South Street. I know we got a joint. I forgot the name of the joint we got out there, but we got one, but it's not burning.
George McCarthy says, wasn't Juicy J a part of Taylor Gang? Yeah, yep. That's a good point. That's a good point, George. Touche right there, Twiz. He brought up the fact that Juicy J, that's true, man. Juicy J is majorly successful. So let's get back into this. Gillie said, what you talking about? What does that have to do with me telling you to put some shorts on? Playing around like it's when you in school, man. I haven't been to school since 1994. In school, I was different. In school, I was a young Gillie. I would have slapped you in the head with a lunchbox and took your cookies. What you talking about back in school? I'm not the same dude that I was back in school. I haven't been in school since 1994. Putting on a whole narrative like that. So yeah, Twiz, I don't think Wiz would have liked Gillie when he was in school. I don't think Wiz and Gillie would have had the relationship that they had on $1 million worth of game when they were in school. Do you want to touch on that a little bit, man? These guys from the Lunchbox era?
I mean, I guess it depends on what type of person Wes was when he was in school. You know what I mean? I guess that just falls in with that. It's people that you could have fought or had all types of issues with in school, and you eventually became homies. People you could have been homies with in school, and then time passed on, and it's like, like the person don't exist no more. So it could have went either way.
Yeah, like
You know,
people that you could throw milk in their face or something like that. You know what I mean? One of the stoners in school, or as
facts,
Gil said, put a lunchbox in their face. Like
facts.
sometimes you don't want to meet the high school version of somebody. Like, would the high school version of Mikey T and Twiz have gotten along together? Maybe we probably would have gotten along together in high school. You know what I mean? But you probably wouldn't have want to meet certain people, is what I'm saying, when they were in
It's
high school.
true. It's true. People, and people mature a lot. Just like Gil said, he's not who he was back then. That's not a good, like, right there. That's like a pity party comment to me, bro. A pity party response. Like, you the same guy that laugh at. You know what I mean? Like, now you putting them in the boat. Because doing things like that to somebody that's, let's just say we are in the classroom and the kid is reading or answering questions, that's just pure ignorance for the ones that do deal with that type of stuff. When you're younger, your principles and everything is a lot different. The younger you are, the less you understand the level of disrespect or the things you might be doing to somebody else. But it wasn't like disrespectful to what Gil did. It was more like playing around with your homie. Like, if you teasing somebody like that and they reading, you not showing love. It ain't like, yo, you my homie, bro, but you're a geek. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like that. So Gil was putting respect and love on his name on top of making the comment. You know what I mean?
Yep. So Gil says I haven't been to school since 1994, and looking it up, Wiz was born in 1987. So Wiz must have graduated in 2007 or 2008, just
Uh-huh.
judging by the fact that we're the same age. Gillie says he hasn't been to school since 1994. What year do you make that Gillie? What grade do you make that Gillie stopped going to school, Twiz? I'm seeing Gillie's birth year was
Gil,
1984.
Gil went to college. His
Yeah.
birth year not 84. That's wrong.
Okay.
It's that's wrong. His birth year is, it got to be like 74.
Okay.
Yeah, his birth year definitely not 84. That's for sure. But yeah, Gil went to college and everything. He went. I know for a fact he went to Cabrini College because my cousin was there with him. You know what I mean? And yeah, so he made it to college and everything. You know, so he
What year
wasn't.
did your cousin graduate? Do you know off top? Might it have been 1994, 1995?
It was definitely in the 90s. I was a kid when my cousin was. That's about right. Like around then. You know what I mean? So 94 was probably his high school time because, you know, Gil high school to college and things. I'm not sure if he took a break in between high school and college, but my cousin was definitely in college in the 90s. You know, I was a child at the time, so I couldn't really pinpoint the year. But yeah, around the time when Jordan was still balling for the Bulls. You know what I mean?
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Appreciate everybody for sharing this video tonight, and I appreciate everybody for tapping in, man. We got some great topics tonight, man. We're still talking about Gillie the Kid and Wiz. You know, a whole bunch more came into this whole situation, so we had to come back online and talk about it tonight. A whole lot more talk. Twiz, you know, just to ask you, do you think Gillie's page is potentially going to get taken down for just continuing this, man? I just don't think it's in his best interest.
I don't think it's gonna get taken down again. But at this time, at this point in time, I feel like Gil feel like he unstoppable. You already took his $2 million follow. I mean, his 2 million follower page down.
Yep.
You keep playing on Instagram, it's not stopping. $1 million worth of game is still rolling every Sunday. Um, he could easily get the promo from off a Wallow page.
He
He can
just got
easily
he got 300,000 followers in what, two days?
say it's going to funnel right back. You know what I mean? He's very important to that. You know what I mean? Important to the hip hop culture.
Facts, man. Jason Waters, appreciate you for tapping in tonight. Let us
Salute.
know where y'all from. Put it in the chat. Be sure to interact in the chat, you guys. Let us know where you're from. Also, vote in the poll. Celebrity boxing. It's looking like Gillie is running the poll right now. We got 50 votes, 49 votes. Vote in the poll right now. Gillie is leading with 59% to 41%. Wiz got some number there, Twiz, because of the fact that he's been in there. You know what I mean? He's been in there doing his thing, whether it's kickboxing or taekwondo. What is the big thing out there in Pennsylvania that they're doing in these? Is it karate? What is it? Is it kickboxing? Is there anything specific that you hear them talking about they be doing? Is it jujitsu?
I mean, you know, I'm from Philly, so it's like just boxing. Like we don't really hear too much about like too much of the
Boxing,
other things. Yeah, I can't really pinpoint it, but we got a lot of boxers.
UFC type shit.
They definitely they definitely do all that. It's UFC style, but the biggest thing is like mainly boxing.
You know who needs to do this, man? You know who needs to actually reach out and make this happen?
Who that?
I know who needs to reach out and make this happen. Dana White. Dana White needs to reach out and make this happen. Put him in the octagon. Put him in the octagon. Gillie, managed by Wallow, of course. Wiz, managed by Will. Will's a cool. You know what I mean? I don't think Will ever reached back out to me, but after that emotional message that I sent out to Wiz a little bit earlier, I'm sure they will be reaching out to us and like, damn. Let me see. George says, I'm on my level. I'm on my level. Philly, Kensington in the building, smoking sunshine at 31%. Love to Gillie Wiz. It was a joke and should have stayed one. Most certainly, man. I think it was a missed opportunity, probably on Wiz's part, because Gillie can go and pretty much do this with anybody. You know what I mean? Gillie can pretty much go and do this with anybody, Twist.
He can, man.
We're by himself.
Can. Yep, by himself. It don't even got to be directed on nobody towards nobody, you know.
So Gillie went on. You put a whole narrative out there. Unbelievable, man. Everybody's calling me, telling me, Gillie, let it go. He was wrong. Wiz is sensitive. He was wrong, but let it go. What do you think are some of those people that called Gillie telling him to let it go? I certainly wasn't one of those people. I didn't hit Gillie up and say, yo, let him be, man. He wants to box. He wants to train, man.
Mhm.
He went from 115 pounds soaking wet to 155 pounds and he's physically fit. I didn't hit Gillie with that shit because, in all honesty, man, the man got his page taken down. It got took into a whole nother situation when he got
Facts.
Gillie's page taken down, man. And I didn't see this going to the drastic level of Gillie being like the whole energy type talk, how he did Cassidy last year. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Have that type. I didn't see this going that far. You know what I mean? But it just kind of threw me off guard how freaking deep this shit went. And I'm logging on to my Instagram and I'm not finding Gillie there. And I'm like, yo, this is
Yeah, that's
absolute
crazy.
bullshit.
Yeah, that was crazy, bro.
Yeah, man. George says, but I heard Wiz has been training boxing for a while now. He is in shape for sure. Would be a good mashup. Yeah, that's one of the major reasons that I think somebody would pick this shit up. You know what I mean? And that's one of the major reasons that I thought Wiz missed an opportunity because Gillie shines some light on something that not many people actually gave a shit about. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Shit, Twiz, are more people tuning in when Wiz is smoking a joint or when Wiz is doing some boxing training, you think?
Um, I think either one would be good. I mean, like the boxing and all that, it's like a form of therapy. Um, you know what I mean? It makes you feel good about yourself. Just him being who he is, if he's connecting with the people in any shape, form, or fashion, the people like that type of stuff. So him sitting and smoking a spliff on Instagram live and talking, yeah, people would love that. Even if he started to do it like once a week or something like that, he would, you
I'm
know what I
just
mean?
saying that's what he's kind of more known for rather than, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
I think more people tune in when he's, doing his music and smoking or not
Hmm.
even doing his music, but just when he's smoking and hitting his bong, you know what I mean? Rather than doing the workout
Facts.
videos. And that's why I kind of like I'm looking at it like, yo, dude, Gillie, the number one podcaster, just put a spotlight on what you do, man, and you're gonna,
Uh-huh.
you know what I'm saying? You're just gonna screw it up. So Gillie replied to that about letting it go. Twiz. Gillie says, "No, I'm not letting it go. You're bigger than that. No, I'm not. Who told y'all that? Don't. That's another reason I didn't hit Gillie up, and just telling him what to do over a text message. Don't ever assume like you know everything about people. All these people hitting Gillie. You're bigger than that, Gil. You're famous now, Gil. You're in a spotlight now, Gil. Don't do that. Be the bigger man. Who told y'all that though? Who told y'all I was bigger than that? I'm bigger than the dude trying to take food out of my family's mouth. It's just lucky my money is already right. What if I depended on my Instagram? That's the biggest thing here, Twiz. Boozy faced this, and he said losing his Instagram page, it slowed up his money drastically. And if Gillie didn't have a major position right now with his platform, he might actually depend significantly on his Instagram if he wasn't in position right now, Twiz.
Absolutely. That's still part of, his line of
Um,
networking. You know what I mean? You got people that's not famous that's DMing them like, bro, I got 50 stacks. Let me come, you know what I'm saying? Bring me on this show.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Or
So
just an endorsement. Yeah.
exactly. So at the end of the day, yeah, that's a part of him getting his bag. Whereas though what he did with Wiz, that's not stopping him from getting his bag. Bro, you getting upset with a man say about what you got on, bro. Don't you realize you got what he got 30 million followers? How many other women on there love when you post it? You about to sit up here and worry about Gail, bro? Yeah, I'm talking about like you know, if you can't take it as a joke, I don't think you should have got so offended about it, man. Like, you know what I mean? And especially when I'm saying I'll help him get his page back. Well, if it's tension and this and that, bro, why would Gil even want to, like, come on, why would Gil be like, all right, yeah, help me get my page back? You know, now that's making him look crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like Gil stand on, you know, certain principles at the end of the day.
So Gillie went on, Twiz. Gillie went on. He said, "What if I depended on this? What if I depended on my IG to feed my family and someone tried to take it away? Because there's dudes out here and their whole life is Instagram. That's how they make they living. And this dude tried to take it away for a joke. When I said I love you, you my brother, Philly to Pittsburgh, you a legend." But man just put on some draws, and if he puts some draws on, tell me so I can follow back my brother. So apparently Gillie did unfollow him, and he even said, "You tried to act like you were gonna put an end to me." And then there's these goofy industry dudes all on my line telling me to put an end to it. So what's your take from that, man? Gillie Gillie basically outlined the fact that he told him like he loved him. He told him he was the king of Pittsburgh, the king of Philly, that whole thing right there. But in all honesty, Gillie is feeling that way. How the everyday man would feel who got their page taken down. How we've seen Boosie bitching about it.
People need to mind their business as far as these celebrities or rappers that reached out to Gil to try to be like the mediator, and that Gil a grown man. You know what I'm talking about? Like, you want to say that he bigger than this or he should move a certain way, but if he wasn't himself, he wouldn't be where he was at today. You know what I mean? So obviously his recipe works, and the people that endorse him and the people that network with him, they love him for who he is. If he wasn't who he was, who knows if he would have been where he was at. But at the same time, if it happened with one of these other rappers, then they would be upset. Like, you got my page taken down,
Yeah.
where it would lead to violence. It might, where people.
They would be hitting Gillie up, Twiz, to be like, "Yo, let me come on $1 million worth of game to expose this dude."
Facts. And for putting it through the music, and the music wouldn't be too pretty. You know what I mean? It would be disrespectful. It would be violence involved. With Gil and Wiz, they can go back and forth all they want. We know ain't nobody gonna lose their life over it. You know what I mean? It's not that type. It's not serious at the end of the day. Like, it's getting personal, but it's not life threatening. Where somebody be like, bro, just chill. You don't even gotta take it there. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's just how I see it.
So apparently Wiz said to Gillie, there was an ultimatum. Gillie said, and then he tried to give me an ultimatum. We can sit down and talk, and I can get your IG right back. I can get your IG right back. What kind of shit is that to tell somebody? It's kind of like, so you're definitely the one who got my IG. Is there just like a button you can go
Exactly.
and get rid of your whole claim? Like,
Exactly. That's what make it look like. Like I said, I don't think Wiz had the time to do it, but I feel like somebody in his camp did it to make Wiz feel better.
okay. So
Because
now
we know.
you're okay. I like where you're going with this, Twiz. Now
Mhm.
we sort of peeled through some of the layers. Now
Facts.
Twiz is saying he does not think Wiz actually went on his phone and reported the joint himself.
Facts. I
It's
always
a
said
couple
that.
people in the back. Couple people in
Facts.
the back. Yo, Wiz, we'll make this. Wiz, I'm sorry for reaching out to him, man.
Facts.
We'll get his shit blocked, man.
And I don't even think that they don't even have to necessarily say, Wiz, we gonna get it blocked. They saw how it played out. They could have did what they did to get it blocked and be like, don't worry about it. His page is shut down now.
Yep.
And he like, oh, well, okay, that it
Or
is what it is. Like,
not even say it, and that's why Wiz is in his floaty, just
exactly. That's and You know, especially for him to get upset how he did, the people around him, they got to make sure things is right. That's like if you go to a venue and it's booked and things not right, the people in control got to make sure that set it up. The management, they have to make sure that that the talent is happy at the end of the day, or they gonna lose their doggone jobs. You know what I'm saying? So, and they don't want that.
So he said we can sit down and talk. So at this point, Twiz, it's just too late to sit down and talk. They can't just hammer this thing out.
It's never too late. Another episode. Do you, man? Listen, bro. If Wiz come on $1 million worth of game and they pan it out on there, you know how many views it's gonna bring. Especially if they
Okay.
do it,
Boom.
you know that. So it's not too late. And then Wiz could be like, you know what? After they apologize and be like, I got you a gift, and Gil open it up and it's a pair of the shorts and all that. Like, I want you to wear these. You know what I mean? They can still make a joke. It's not too late. You
Yep,
know what
you're
I
right.
mean?
Yep. So get this. So he says, I can get your IG right back. You giving me an ultimatum? Screw you and that Instagram. What do I look like? A lame like you giving me an ultimatum? A lame dude like you. A lame dude like you. And before we continue on with this, Twiz, I just want to ask you about this portion right here where he
Mhm.
says, screw you and that Instagram. Gillie is ready to just move on from the Instagram with 2 million followers.
Mhm.
What do you think about that, Twiz?
That Gil know he already a made man that you can't stop a star from shining. You know what I mean? He gonna win regardless. He got the recipe. And at the end of the day, the podcast is only one thing. You know how many other offers Gil and Wallow is probably getting on top of what they got going with the podcast just because of them being who they are and they character and their energy. You know what I mean? So
Yep. It's crazy, man. The fact that
that
he's okay with losing the Instagram Twiz. I think it's because he saw how quick his new joint, climbed up. You know what I mean? Right now, it's obvious Gillie is more popular than he has ever been. You
mhm.
know what I'm saying? And he's seeing evidence of that right in front of his face. So I think that's one of the reasons that he's all right walking away from it. But just for shits and giggles, let me ask you, do you think if Gillie was given the opportunity tomorrow or next week and they're like, okay, Gillie, you can have your page back now. Gillie already has 500, 600, 700,000 followers on his new joint by next week, obviously. Does
Mhm.
he take his old page back, Twiz, or does he stick with the new page?
Probably take the old one back still anyway, you know what I mean? But he could do either way. I doubt he would be like, I don't need it, you know what I mean? Because it would probably be like him receiving an email or whatever and be like, you know what, your page is back active or something like that.
Oh
You
my
know what
God.
I'm saying?
He needs to give that IG to Mac. He needs to make that the official mac and cheese Instagram if when he gets his old page back or something like that.
True.
All right, so let me see. So Gillie went in here. Now we're gonna get into this part that a lot of people have been hearing about. He says nobody in Taylor Gang has nothing. Dudes have nothing to show for it. So before we get into this next part of that, I just want to go over that in general. Somebody in the chat had just said Twiz, and they have a very, very good point. Juicy J was popping before he came to Taylor Gang. So that's
Uh-huh.
the point. Do you think that makes Gillie's claim accurate? The fact that Juicy J came to Taylor Gang after his success with 3-6?
Yeah, the claim that he's saying is saying like nobody from Telegang is doing good on behalf of you. You know, that's what he meant by that. Like, people even after being done with Telegang or before Telegang, they could be getting to it however they get to it. But he's just trying to say, you wasn't even in a position. You was in a position of being a boss and you couldn't even take care of the people around you. So that's the point that he's trying to make on that drink.
Mm, mm. So let me see right here. So he said, nobody in Taylor Gang has nothing. Dudes have nothing to show for it. Dude called me last night. He didn't reveal the name, Twiz. He said, called me last night and said I was on tour with him. And he is the type of dude. His dudes open a bottle. He is the type where his dudes open a bottle without asking, and he has got an attitude. He be out of pocket. A lot of people are like that, man. You know what I mean? You're the first dude to open the Chinese food. You know what I'm saying? You're the first dude to, you grab the last beer. You know what I'm saying? You grab the last beer, any different type of situation like that. But God forbid you smoke the last backwood. You know what I'm saying, Twiz? People be like that, but in all honesty, man, I really can't believe that to be Wiz. Wiz, I don't think is the type. I've seen this guy. He actually gives people weed all the time. But like you said earlier, Twiz, a lot of that is what you see on camera.
Exactly. It'd be a lot of stuff be on camera, man. A lot of, especially when people are rich and famous, it's a nice amount of them that tends to treat other people like they're below them, like they wouldn't have a life without them. And I'm not saying he's like that or he's not, but when you don't know somebody personally, anything is possible, man. And when you take care of, when you in position and you taking care of people, bro, people don't put shade on your name like that. You like look at Rallo, like he's down, he's booked. You never hear nobody talking bad about him, like bro. He ain't do like you hear people talking great about him. When you treating people great, it don't matter if you're next to them, if you in jail or if you buried. Them people is going to have that same genuine feedback about you. So,
yep. Like, look what Iceberg said. Hold up. Did you just pop my bottle? Oh, we beefing. Yeah. Like, remember what happened when somebody touched Jadakiss' Cristal?
I was about to say that. That was
It's different, Twiz.
Yeah, because that was a personal bottle. He had it out. It was on the hood. Like, yo, who took my bottle? It's like we chilling it and you lay a ounce of some runts down, and we sitting in the circle. It's like, yo, who touched my runts, bro? Like, we was going
supposed to do that. In the South, it's so much different. When they got a bag of runts on the table, or it wasn't runts back then, but you got a bag of gas on.
I know what you're saying.
They would usually, you can tell me if it's like that or not in Philly, but usually in Florida, you could see it. They would keep a bag in the studio and everybody would pick from it, man. It was never like that in Connecticut. I never saw that in New York. Is it like that in Philly?
No, Philly, if it's not getting offered, if it's not laid out like bro, roll whatever you want out of that, it can be sitting there for 3 hours. You better not touch it, bro. Like, you know what I mean?
I guess Twiz, shit. So that bag is sitting there. You're in the studio. Usually somebody comes in. Won't they say, roll something up if you want?
Yeah, depending on who it is and how much of it they got. You know what I mean? You got some people that like facials too. They be like, bro, you can roll your own joint up. Like, we ain't even got to cipher this. Sean, salute, bro.
I mean, I really don't understand why those dudes be coming to the studio without bud themselves, though.
I know. And I'm still on, Mikey. I'm just shutting the cam off. I just got to step up. I'm just getting up for 1 second, but I'm still here.
All right. Sounds good, bro. Right. We're going to get into this next portion. Because, Gillie had just said that shit about the bottles. He said, dudes think they're going to tear your life down behind closed doors. He said, dudes think they're going to tear your life down behind closed doors and act like it's cool. Sit on the phone. I was hurt. What was you hurt about? Because I told you to put some shorts on? And then you wake up in the morning and you're talking about, I didn't delete this child's Instagram. That really rubbed Gil the wrong way, man. He said, that's the best you can come up with, boy? You little spicy chicken tender. He called him a spicy chicken tender, Twiz. He had to do it. Is that like a Philly thing or is that a Gillie thing?
That's a Gillie thing. Spicy definitely is a word that's floating around. Them
Right.
talking about like he called him spicy and all of that, but at the end of the day, Gil just he's still gonna be comical. Skit, so I see you, bro. He's
I
still
love
gonna
when
be
Gilly
comical
calls
with it.
people a chicken tender.
Real rap. He called him a chicken tender, bro. He gave him the tenderoni joint, like bro, like
Damn, there's so many new fake Gilly the Kid pages out there, man. It's hard to find his page. What up, BX De Niro? Definitely appreciate you for tapping in. Everybody,
BX.
this video. Um, so Gilly said, dude thinks, oh yeah, we got through that. But Gilly also said, you know damn well, we put me and you in the room. You ain't calling me no child. If you put me and you in a room next to each other, you in a million years wouldn't call me a child. I'd be the big homie. See? Because he's the big homie. Big homie, I don't want no problems with you. But on Instagram, on Twitter, on social media, I didn't get this child's page. He said I felt like y'all was big homies. Well, right there, Twiz. Wiz is calling Gil the big homie, but like I said earlier, when Wiz was hot,
Mm-hmm.
when Wiz was releasing We Dem Boys, when Wiz was releasing, as Gilly said, Black and Yellow, and there's an array of different tracks. He never
Thanks.
reached out to Gil back then. You
Of
know what I
course
mean?
not.
Did he get down on the was he on the Get Down on the Ground remix or something? Am I missing something?
Back then, he probably didn't know who Gil was. You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy. You know what I mean? It's just kind of crazy to me. And I had to bring that up. You know what I mean? Just because it's a fact that I've witnessed. You know what I mean? You call the man your big homie. You call the man your big homie, but then you don't jump on his Welcome to Philadelphia album that he put out when he needed everybody in the industry to show him love. Yeah, no, he didn't jump on that. I don't think he jumped on that album, Twiz.
Facts. Well, like when you on that type time, people can't even deal with people from their hood or older guys or those are the type of people they need yes men around them. They can't have nobody keeping it real or nothing like that. You know what I mean? Because you don't want to hurt the guy feelings.
So yeah, no, I'm just saying, man, like in all honesty, Gilly put up big bread for that album. Let me see, who do you have on this album? He had PNB Rock, he had Pusha T, he had Jeremiah, Bianca J. Would that be Bianca from Major Figures, Twiz?
Yeah, I believe so. That's the
Really?
only Bianca I know. I don't remember Jay being behind her name. I
No.
always knew her known her as Bianca or First Lady, but 9 times out of 10, yeah, that's her.
Wow, man. That's dope. So yeah, I'm just saying, like, Gilly put Jeremiah on tattoo, and he actually told me he paid like big racks, big racks for that song. So I don't see why, reaching out to Wiz and putting some shit together, would have been a problem. Let me see. Damn, I just had it up. I wanted to see the year comparison. But yeah, it's on the subject. Let me see what year. 2015. So he had We Them Boys. He had We Them Boys in 2014. Gil has Welcome to Philadelphia in 2015, but he can't show the big homie love, Twiz.
Absolutely not. You know what I mean? He was rolling. You know what I mean? Sometimes when
Oh, I get it.
you
I
know
get
what I
it.
mean?
He became big homie when he, made $1 million worth of game and rivaled the Breakfast Club.
Yeah, he became big homie when he had a platform to help people careers. You know what I mean?
Right. Right. Because Ab told me, AR Ab told me when he was in North and they were watching the Major Figures,
Uh-huh.
they were big homie back then when they were watching them, you know what I mean, come up as a group
Yeah.
together.
Yeah, Gil and them like to Philly and the tri-state was always, big homies and Gil always been definitely trying to help out, upcoming rappers and things of that nature. He never had like no hate in his blood for, up and coming guys.
Yeah, real shit. I'm not trying to stunt. I'm not trying to stunt or shit on Wiz at all. I'm just hoping maybe he can hear some of this shit from, some bloggers or some hip hop influencers with sense
Mhm.
and just correct what he's doing right now. You know what I mean? Like, because when you're calling somebody a big homie, you know what I mean? Like, you could have did a lot back for Gillie back in 2015 to make him not even be thinking about this, you know what I mean, in this same way. You know what I mean? Now he's just thinking about it like you done tried to take food out of his mouth, theoretically, because that's not his only way of money. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and he looking at it like, why you doing this to take food out my mouth? Even with the joke, and afterwards, we was setting up business to put more food in your mouth. You know what I mean? It just is what it is.
So Wallow apparently spoke on this, but maybe we'll get more into Wallow talking about. Wallow spoke on this, but maybe we'll get onto that tomorrow night because Tory Lanez is back, man. Tory Lanez is back. He's talking about Meek Mill. He's got the new record out, man. I'm not really too sure about the title. Like, I don't really know what the title means all the way, man. Mucky James. What did you take on that title, Twiz?
I don't know. I know it's a personal meaning for him behind it. I don't really, know too much about what the title stands for.
Frax. Free AR Rab. I'm about to put it in the chat, y'all. I want to know who are y'all rocking with? Who do y'all got in this joint? Meek Mill? Who's the better artist? This one, Twiz, I don't know if you're thinking this one is hard. I want to know who do y'all think is the better artist, Meek Mill or Tory Lanez?
To me, it's gonna be Meek.
Of course, of course. I mean, shit, they've even worked together though. Twiz, they've even worked together in the past. Meek actually featured him on would you say one of his biggest singles? Not Tory's, I'm saying one of Meek's biggest singles.
I mean, we could say that. They said at the time, but at that time, Meek was already he was like buzzing. So
Liddy.
damn near, yeah, damn near
Liddy.
every,
I'm just saying,
yeah.
was that one of Meek's biggest records when you compare it to, when you compare it to Levels, when you compare it to the intro? Where does Liddy, fall in comparison?
It,
All Eyes on Me,
it,
or
it was a
you?
big record, but I'm not gonna say as big as. You know what I mean? Levels was bigger than that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? He got a couple joints that was bigger than that, but it still was a big joint. They was great collabing with each other. You know what I mean? They was definitely a great collab.
Was it better than Young and Getting It?
Young ain't
I would
getting
have
it.
to say so. I would have to say Liddy was better than Young and I'm Getting It.
Yeah, like I said, it was like Tory Lanez was definitely a big part of Meek career during that time. But Meek was a bigger part of Tory Lanez career.
Yep. True. True. So I want to dig back into this whole situation where it really a portion of it started publicly. So Meek had posted, he said, I got the Nelson Mandela Humanitarian Award. You probably remember us covering this, Twiz. He said,
Facts.
thank you. Rest in peace to the great Nelson Mandela. I ain't grow up playing ball. I had a Smith and Western because where I'm from, it's very hard to turn 27. Hashtag survivors. Tory Lanez kind of like made fun of him, his spelling, and he replied, Smith and Wesson, Twiz. When he had wrote Smith and Western. Why do you think poking this little bit of fun would rub Meek the wrong way? Meek had responded, "It's called Meek Flow. Say congrats or something, weirdo." LOL.
Meek also is, Meek he get real he don't like when people say stuff.
It's a Pennsylvania thing, huh? Must be a Pennsylvania thing, Twiz.
Can you hear me, bro? I mean, yeah, that was a phone call, my fault. But yeah, Meek get personal too. You know what I mean? You get personal when people say things about him. You can just see how he respond through people through whether it's Instagram, Twitter, whatever. You know, he get personal.
Tory fired right back. It wasn't that deep. Just ain't want you to look dumb. Congrats, though, bozo. What do you make of that exchange there, Twiz? You know, this had actually happened back in August of 2021. We did cover it.
I mean, truthfully, I don't think Tory had to even. He didn't have to correct him, bro. Like, I could text you and have a typo. It's not like you'd be like, oh no, that you know, like you corrected it in the text or nothing. Like, you know what I meant.
Right.
Especially when it come to rapping, all rappers always bend up words. So for him to do that, you know, Meek felt like, bro, you trying to talk to me like I'm dumb. I know what it means. So it was an unnecessary back and forth, unnecessary tension for nothing. The way Meek responded back, he put Tory Lanez in a predicament to have to respond back to that, to how he was and hitting with the weirdo and all that.
Right. And so Twiz, so Meek shut it down with this statement. He said, it's kind of deep. You trying to help me with my spelling. And you know for a fact that I don't F with you right now.
Mm-hmm.
Twiz, let's just take that first part. He said, it's kind of deep. It's kind of deep. You're trying to help me with my spelling because Tory had said it wasn't that deep. So why, in your opinion, is Meek responding back saying it was that deep? You're trying to help me with my spelling just because of it's kind of, he takes shit kind of personally, like you were saying?
Yeah, well, like you said, with on top of the spelling, it's like, bro, you know, we not messing with each other right now. Why are you even in here playing with me like that? You know, like I said, Meek, he don't be letting stuff slide. He will stoop down to somebody level. That's safe to say. You
Yep.
know, he has a history of doing stuff like that.
Yeah, Meek went on. He said, if y'all guys really rich, why y'all acting like we cool on the net? And you know we not. Do you? And stay out of the street business when we talking about them blowers. That goes back to him correcting the Smith and Western. You know what I mean?
Thanks.
You know, so I like what he said there, man. You know, he said, if y'all really rich, why y'all acting like we cool? Like, if you're really rich, if you really have everything that you want, everything that you work so hard to attain, you shouldn't give a shit what anybody else is doing, what anybody else is saying. You know what I mean? You should be in your own world. You shouldn't be so hooked up on all those, you know, all them cliche aspects, I think, Twiz.
Well, it's like the rich people, the celebrities. They tend to have like a lot of times a lower self-esteem because they used to everybody kissing the ground they walk on. They used to going to shows and you know people going crazy. So when somebody question them or go against what they say, they kind of don't know how to take it. You know what I mean? Especially if you somebody that came from nothing and then you got it and you witness this luxurious lifestyle and everybody is treating you like you the president. And when somebody call you out, you know, it kind of shows a different side of you when you responding to it.
So we're going to get into this whole Tory Lanez situation, but I wanted to change the poll. And it's going to be better song. It's Meek Mill featuring Tory Lanez, Liddy, just what Twiz and I were talking about. Meek featuring Louis V, Young, and Getting It. I want to know what's the better song. There we go. And I got the poll up right now. So, you know, Tory Lanez was just in court. He's on a major $350,000 bail. I guess when he went to court, they actually put him in cuffs and they let him post bail at that point. Twiz, do you have any not knowledge of that actual situation? But in this type of circumstance, Tory Lanez was going to court. He had a court date. And then while he was there, they actually put him in cuffs as if they were going to take him back into custody, but he was able to still place a bail. How the hell would all that work out?
Well, I know most of the time, just for like a regular person, say you get locked up, today, you might not, your preliminary court date might not be until, like, your first court date might not be for 24, 48 hours. And then when you go to that first one, that's when they let you know. So you sitting in the district, you in the holding cell, and then you go see the judge, they read off your charges. That's when they will offer you a bail, right? You know what I'm saying? Right then and there. But in his case, him being in a different state and him being the celebrity that he is, it's like it was already planned, bro. They just wanted to be like, let's smack these cuffs on him. We can give him a $500,000 bill. This guy don't want to sit in jail. He gonna cut that. You know what I mean? Let's put this revenue inside of our system. We need that. You know what I'm talking about? So at the end of the day, it's different in different states, but normally how it is when you first get locked up, the first time you see the judge is when they be like, you know what? You got a bail, you don't got a bail, or they give you a bail and you got a detainer holding you because you on parole or probation or something. So,
Well, Twiz, let me ask you, man, just for the sake of saving money, do you think if Tory had decided to sit incarcerated until his next court date, do you think they would have dropped that bail, or do you think it would have remained at the same amount, so it didn't matter when he posted it?
it probably would have remained at the same amount. The only way that the bail would have went down is if he could have got a section of the charges dropped. You know what I mean? But most of the time it would have probably been the same.
So you might as well just pay that bail right then and there and get the hell out of there.
Fact, sometimes they might even hit you and try to make that joint higher. You know what I mean? Depending on, especially someone at the status of who he is, and they know he got money.
So, Twiz, let me ask you. He walks into the courthouse. He gets remanded. Does he walk out of that same courthouse after posting bail, or does he get transported somewhere else?
It depends how the bail work. Like I know, like out Philly, they will, like, say for instance, you get locked up and you in the district, and then you see the bail judge, and the bail judge tells you your bail. Your peoples, they have to go down to CJC, which is a whole different courtroom, and they gotta go to a certain floor, and they pay your bail. So 9 times out of 10, you would be shipped to that county jail, which would be CFCF, and then you gotta wait till, like, once they pay the bail's paperwork, the CJC gotta fax it over to the jail and all that. So you probably be in there overnight or something like that. And God forbid it's a weekend. You know what I mean? You might be sitting there till Monday. So that's normally how it play out.
So it's kind of sounding to me like Tory Lanez more than likely walked out of the same courthouse that he walked into.
Probably, because it's different in different states and stuff like that. So probably.
So let me read this rap that Tory Lanez had in his new song. Tory Lanez's new record, man, very oddly titled. The Mucky James, what was it? Mucky James. Yep, Mucky James, which I'm going to have to do a little bit of research on, unless somebody in the chat can tell us why the hell it was called Mucky James. But he said, I was at a high in my career. You think I'd come out here and shit? And if you think I'd do that shit, you want some stupid shit. I don't need to do that shit. My Haitian hoes gonna woo a bitch. I can't lie. Temporarily, that bitch came and ruined shit. They can't believe I'm back popping. I'm out here doing shit. Yeah, before Tory Lanez got all caught up, Twiz, he was really like becoming one of the most, yeah, he was becoming that guy, man. You know what I mean? I guess every chick wanted to be with him, apparently, from what his entanglements involve. And you know what I mean? And as Meek Mill worked with him on Liddy again, all the artists really wanted to utilize his vocals. You know what I mean? So
Facts.
We'll have to see what happens. You know what I mean? We'll have to see what happens coming out with this whole case. But what do you make of Tory continuously mentioning Megan?
because that was something where a lot of people knocked him for, bro. Like, people knocked him for that. It just that goes back to the good old saying, believe half of what you see and none of what you hear. The odds were against them. People were joking about it, and we even saw like when Cassidy and Tory Lanez went back. Cassidy mentioned it in his diss track and things of that nature. So that's just how it happened.
Yep. Yeah, like we said before, Meek Mill and Tory have dropped joints together, but right now they don't really seem to be on the best of terms. Tory actually rapped. He said, "Not one of them guys that be faking what he feeling. I'm gonna talk about it. Meek Mill, he used to be my dog. He did some flaw shit to me. And when I brought it up, Lil Cuz wouldn't even talk about it. Ain't beefing with you, Cuz. I swear I'm more hurt than anything. I'm at this point in life where I don't stress the petty things." What did you think about that, man? He basically called Meek Mill out by name, saying that he used to be my dog, but he did some flaw shit to me, which I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was, and I'm not thinking it was just that call out from August of 2021. I think it's a little bit something more than that that's not being brought to light. I don't think it was because Meek
Absolutely.
at that point said, "I don't F with you then."
Absolutely. It's the things behind scenes. Only him, Meek, and the man above know what's up. Besides the camps or whoever, at the end of the day, whatever Tory feel, I mean that's Tory truth, and he obviously was hurt about it. I think that it's just messed up how the music game is. It's messed up how sometimes business can pan out because I feel like even after all of this stuff had, leveled out, I feel like him and Meek could still do some great collabs at the end of the day. It would be a good look for both of them, especially with Meek going through what
Right,
he
but
going through in his career and Tory coming out of his situation.
right, but it's like you kind of said earlier about Gillie and Wiz. If Meek and Tory are going to do some work, if they're going to sit together, you know what I mean? They need to actually, be able to do that without having animosity towards one another,
Absolutely.
or it's just not going to work. Um,
Absolutely.
so I wanted to ask you about let me see. So he said, "I'm more hurt than anything." Do you think, Twiz, that Meek Mill cares that Tory is hurt about losing the friendship that they had?
Probably no, I doubt it. I doubt it. I doubt he care. You
Well,
know.
Meek did say we're not cool now, though, Twiz. Kind of like alluding to the fact that they're on and off again type shit.
Meek would probably only try to patch it up if Tory shoots to the sky and really be buzzing, buzzing, buzzing. Because then now it's a business aspect. But, just how Meek seemed to carry it, I doubt he cares about how Tory felt, you know what I mean, about the situation. Because a lot of times it's nothing but an apology behind scenes. I'm not saying, you know, I know what Meek did or whatever, but obviously it was something because a man not really gonna vent like that on those type of levels. So Tory probably voiced his opinion. Obviously they probably talked, and Mill was probably Meek was probably like, nonchalant about the whole situation, and sometimes an apology as a man, like, it can help out a lot with certain things, but who knows what it was, bro. Like,
Damn. Damn. Cuzzy TV says Meek doesn't care.
we don't.
Antoine Queen, definitely appreciate you for tapping in tonight.
Appreciate you,
Everybody tap
appreciate
in.
you.
Make sure you share this video. Make sure you share this video, you guys. So Tory had said at this point in life, he doesn't stress the petty things. So let's analyze this, man. He says, "I swear I'm more hurt than anything. I'm at this point in my life where I don't stress the petty things." Now, do you think that may be in regard to what him and Meek were going through, or do you think he's calling the Meek Mill beef petty, like he doesn't even want to address it, or do you think he just means like what they went through was petty? Because it just doesn't sound. It sounds kind of hypocritical since he's saying that he's more hurt than anything.
Okay, so it's like this. We could use it back to Wiz and Gilly, not to keep jumping on them, but Wiz was hurt how Gilly responded. Being hurt when you expect something from somebody, or you might not think that their energy would be a certain way towards you, even though it was a joking matter, you can be hurt about that. Looking at it as petty is that real things come on. People lose their lives. You know what I mean? It's like, bro, I was upset at this guy because he didn't respond how I wanted him to, or he said this and I got offended. But he's considering all of that type of stuff petty because his life was just on the line dealing with this case that he had. And now things that seem to be, overturning in his favor. So he's going to look at everything else as petty because that was the biggest downfall and fork in the road for as far as him being famous and things of that nature. That was a bad joint right there. Like, so
pretty crazy.
Thankful.
And Twiz, just one more question I wanted to ask you on this. Why do you think it took Tory Lanez this long to actually come out and, diss, or, however you want to take it, publicly call out Meek Mill, calling him flaw, really? I mean, nobody wants to be called flaw, man.
I think it's because, like I said, like with this stuff with the Megan Thee Stallion case and all of that, it overshadowed everything. You don't want to look bitter or have issues, and you pointing out real things while you dealing with this case, because now you looking crazy now, like, oh, he didn't did that to Megan, now look, he going at Meek, now he going at, you know what I mean? So it's it's all about the perception and all that, bro. You don't want to look crazy. You don't want people to misunderstand situations, bro. Like, people still look at Kanye crazy when he says certain things and have certain outbursts, and it don't mean that the stuff not true, but it's the right time for everything. I feel like now he feel comfortable because he understands he's not going to have to sit and do time for what he was, allegedly accused of. So now he can start addressing other things like.
Let me see. Kuzi says Tory needs music to make bread. I don't think Meek do, so I can see Tory caring about music relationships. Yeah, that's another point that I did want to address. Back in the day, Tory Lanez may have been sweating losing Meek Mill as an affiliate, as a featured artist, but at this point in time, Tory Lanez's records are going to sell themselves as long as. If he comes out with a big hit, like Twiz said, everybody's probably going to jump right back onto his wagon. You know what I mean? As long as he comes out with that hit that brings everybody back together. So, I gotta agree with that as well. And he doesn't need Meek Mill at this point to make a hit, which is why I think he's saying he doesn't stress the petty things as well.
He don't. He could be another Chris Brown. You know what I mean? Another Chris Brown, even though I know it was no type of firearm involved, but like Chris Brown, he really did that. You know what I'm talking about? Like he really, you know what I'm saying.
And I'm finding it hard to find out which of the situations was worse between those two.
Exactly. Appreciate you too, Antoine Queen.
What up, Rubber Band Rich? Salute, man.
Rubber Band Rich in the building. Salute. Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like, we seen Chris Brown bounce back from it. Like, I remember when Michael Jackson had passed and he did the joint where he was dancing like him and all of that. That was like where he really started having people even look back at him. And this was like after like the Rihanna apology and all of that. So I think if Chris Brown was able to get out of that situation of something that he did, all Tory got to do is put out fire music. You know what I mean? It's not going to be hard for him to, to climb up the ladder.
Oh, yeah, man. But yeah, man, those were our topics tonight. I'm gonna bring it to y'all in the chat. Twiz, I know you got a lot going on with the family, man. If you want to tap up out of here, man, I respect it. I appreciate you for being on the live podcast tonight. We're gonna do some open questions though right now. If you still want to rock though, Twiz.
Yeah, definitely I rock, you know what I'm saying? I rock for definitely at least another 5-10 minutes.
Yeah. Anybody that wants to send some questions right now, let's take a look at the poll though, Twiz. Wow. Twiz, I got the poll. Better song, right? Better song. Are you familiar with Young and Getting It?
Yeah, I remember now. Once you said Louis V, so I already know Tory Lanez and Meek took that joint.
Really? You just know that right off the rip?
I feel like that probably is, and not to discredit Louis. Louis was fire. I'm talking about, but Tory and Meek was hitting different.
Yep. Right now, Twiz, Meek Mill featuring Tory Lanez has 83% of the vote, and that leaves Young and Getting It with 17% of the vote. Pretty crazy. But also, just to go along with that, Twiz, it was later, down the line, you would later find out that the intro was actually the major single that came from the Dreams and Nightmares album.
True. Big facts.
Yeah.
That's your own legendary right there.
It doesn't always work out like that, man. You know what I'm saying?
No, it don't. It definitely don't.
Everybody vote in the poll if you haven't voted yet.
They still call Meek the intro king to this day.
Yeah, I mean, shit. They played it all over Bel Air.
The Sixers playing in the back room. We played at the Super Bowl. It's like, bro, that's like the Philly anthem right there. Like,
Twiz, are you all caught up with Bel Air?
Oh my goodness, bro.
What do you think about Marlon Wayans? What do you think about Marlon Wayans coming in?
Bro, I'm so used to seeing Marlon Wayans acting a comedy role that it tore me up, bro. The seriousness and it was very good, like especially with him popping up as a father, and then you get to see I forgot the brother name. I can't think his name, but the one that's acting Will Smith.
Jabari Banks.
Yeah, Jabari Banks. Like the energy, bro. Like the art. Like you felt it. When he was like, "Get out of here! I don't need that." Because even on like the Fresh Prince, it was on top of it being a comedy show. It was always those episodes where Will get serious on them Jones and shed tears and everything, bro. So it was like
Twiz, did you think it was a bit much that Jabari was actually calling his dad a bitch? Like, did you think that was a little bit far?
I don't think so. I think it was more of a raw and uncut version. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is how it really would have came out. You know what I mean? This is how it really would have been. So it makes you more like you felt it more. You know what I mean? You felt it more. It made it more realistic. You know what I'm saying? So that joint, it's that joint fire, bro. Like
now,
even
am I right? Which Wayne's it was?
Yeah, that's Marlon. Yeah, that's Marlon.
Wayne, yep. I always used to mix them up, man, back in the day, because I would think that Marlon looked more like a Sean, and I would think Sean looked more like a Marlon, back in the scary movie days and shit. I was like, no, man. That's Sean. I love Sean because he plays the guy who smokes all the bud, man. That's Sean. Like, no, man, that's not Sean, man. Sean is the dude who plays Ray. But
facts. Marlon was always, like joking in every movie and thing like that. So that drink was fire.
I wanted to ask you about the voice, though. The voice that Marlon had. Did you did you like the voice that he was using? Did it sound a little bit like he was like trying a little bit too hard to keep that voice, or did it sound authentic and natural?
I mean, it sounded good because it's supposed to be an older father struggling that been through a lot. Got so much personal stuff. and some people naturally have funny voices. So I couldn't judge it and be like, oh no, that voice didn't. It wasn't there. He was trying not to be himself on there. So I think he did a good job, man. You know what I mean? And I think that the show, period, it's like raw and uncut, bro. Like even with Carlton, we see the things that he's dealing with behind scenes. It's like, whoa, like you know what I'm saying? Like what if this really played out like this? You know what I mean? So it was just crazy, bro. Even with meeting Lisa and all of that, like that joint was fire, bro.
Yeah, definitely a dope interview. Definitely a dope sitcom, actually.
Yeah.
Let me see. I forget the last question that I actually wanted to ask you about the damn show. But everybody just send in your final questions. We're about to wrap it up here tonight for the live podcast. Definitely glad we could go check out my interview with Easy the Block Captain.
Yes, sir.
I'm actually
We're talking about a star from this show, man.
Yep, that's right. I did an interview with Easy the Block Captain, who actually plays Rashad. Kind of upsetting that his character never showed back up.
It is.
Could he in the future show back up, Twiz? I mean, I
No.
really didn't think they wrote him off I think they wrote him off in a way where he could pop up like, yo, I faked my death. I'm back.
Yeah, they could
Does
be.
it happen like that?
It could be. It could be like, they got the wrong guy or whatever, you know what I mean? Because it was all through that. But even with that, he did his thing, and salute to Easy, man, because for him to get on that show, like his stuff is just everything happened so fast for him. You know how many artists and people from Philly that would have loved to be a part of that. It's a reason that he was a part of that, man, and he did his thing, man. Like you would have thought that he really took acting classes for years. You know what I mean? Like he played his part good on that joint, especially like when they got locked up and he looking at him. I'm like, okay, Easy, like you doing your thing, bro.
Yeah,
They
man.
got him looking real
Man,
grimy on that joint, like
he
you know what I'm
commands
saying?
that scream,
Facts,
Twiz,
facts.
But Twiz, I don't really think it would make all that much sense if Easy the Block Captain popped up after a year and he's like, yo, I faked my death just to get my revenge on you. I don't think that's really how some shit like that would play out. That wouldn't be real.
Yeah, it wouldn't be. That sounds something more like on Power.
Oh,
That's some
really?
Power stuff right there. Yeah, they actually did that with 50 Cent, where they thought they got him
Oh, my
and
God.
everything, and he popped back up the series like, y'all didn't get me. I'm still here.
Oh, my God. They were like, we
Yeah,
thought we got you, man. I'm 50 Cent.
rap. Hop out with a Superman cape on, like you can't stop me. I always come back.
But yeah, I'm gonna send it over to Twiz now, man. We're gonna do our plugs. We're gonna do our plugs right now. So Twiz,
Definitely.
let everybody know how they can get in touch with you off of the show. I'm gonna post your IG right now, so everybody follow Twiz if you haven't already. I'm posting up his IG.
Thanks, man. This SB Twist, the hood blogger, man. Follow me on the gram _Twiz215. If you follow me and you tapping in from Report Card Radio, make sure you DM me, let me know, man. The follow gonna come back. You interested in being a part of a film or you want a network, just DM me, man. You know how we carry it. YouTube at the Hood Blogger. I'm gonna get back on the content ASAP. I'm just in the process of getting a new I need a new laptop right now. You know what I'm talking about? I'm gonna get on that real quick within the next week or so. But stay tuned, man. Make sure y'all sub. Make sure y'all sub the Report Card Radio. It's Report Cardio La Familiar with my brother Mikey T, the movie star, man. Salute to everybody in chat, man. It's one way from here, and that's up. Y'all know how we carry it.
George said, "How's the baby doing, Twiz?"
Oh, doing great, man. Thanks for asking, George. Appreciate you. You doing great, man.
That's right. Everybody can subscribe to SV Twiz right there. Interesting enough, Twiz. Everybody can get your last votes in for the poll. If you haven't voted, we're doing last votes, last 60 seconds for the poll right now. You guys,
Yes, sir.
Interesting enough, though, Twiz, Meek Mill featuring Tory Lanez now 62%, and Meek Mill
Whoa.
featuring Louis V. Gutta 38%. It jumped up quite a bit.
Oh, it did. It did.
Yeah. Appreciate you, George. Make sure you're subscribed to SV Twiz. If you're not, you guys. Also, I want everybody watching this video, make sure you're subscribed here so you never miss one of our live videos. Hit that notification bell so you always get notified that Mikey T, the movie star, is here. You know, I'm with my co-host SV Twiz, the hood blogger. You can subscribe to him on YouTube right now. There's some content on there that you're gonna want to binge watch. I'm talking Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime style binge watching. You got hours of content over there, Twiz.
Definitely. You know, and I you know, it's spread it out, man. You know what I mean? Just tune in, man. You know, scroll down the page and you'll be surprised what you'll see, man. Definitely. And salute once again to my brother Mikey T, the movie star, man. Y'all know how we carry it.
Twiz, real quick before we get up out of here.
Lord knows.
George says Lord Knows was better than Young and Getting It. What's your thoughts?
I don't know, man. I mean, you know, I mean that was a good Lord knows was better than Getting It. Yeah, I agree with you, George.
Lord Knows was released in 2015, and Young and Getting It was actually released in 2012. How much better do you think Meek Mill got in those 3 years? I mean, we did see arguably his biggest hit on that first album.
Yeah, that joint was fire. But the Lord Knows joint was catchy. It was different. Like Lord Knows was just a little different. You know, we saw a different side of Meek on that joint. So you know what I mean?
Ain't nothing wrong with that, George. Appreciate you for hitting us with questions. We appreciate everybody for tapping in. You know what I'm saying? We always love to answer your questions, have this hip-hop discussion. Twiz loves to sip from that red cup, and you know
Yes,
I'm
sir.
always rolling up another blunt, and we will see you all on the next episode, man. Make sure you follow us on social media if you're watching on demand, but more importantly than that, make sure you're subscribed to this channel so you never miss one of our live videos.